Hey guys, welcome back. I just went back from boat trip, so I feel pretty positive today, and I want to keep going with our series of tips for a new information security analyst or Pentester. That's something I started out for you guys, but in the end, probably mostly for myself to repeat to myself that I had to keep going, and I just tweeted something about it. I don't know why I didn't, but anyway, today we're going to talk about Metasploitable 2, and in another post I'm going to probably go over Metasploitable 3, which is a little different from the older version I'm going to show you here. What is Metasploitable 2? Metasploitable 2 is a deliberately vulnerable Ubuntu system. It has a bunch of open ports and running services. Is vulnerable to a lot of critical exploits. So what I'm gonna do is the following. So I have here my two virtual machines, and I configured them in a previous post. This is Metasploitable. It has no GUI like you see, and I got this attacking machine ready to go. And I checked the configuration and I can ping Metasploitable, so I'm good to go. So the first thing you want to start from, of course, is running our mmap scan. Now we're still dealing with active reconnaissance here, and I forgot to talk about passive reconnaissance, but I promise you guys that I'm gonna do it in one of the comment posts because I like that a lot. I mean, I like talking about the so-called OSINT or open source intelligence. There are awesome tools available out there, and I wrote some script myself. Not very important stuff, but just for the heck of it. Anyway, let's start with our mmap scan, and I'm going to perform a couple of scans here. I already showed you how mmap works in much more detail in the probably episodes between the second and the fourth. So I'm not gonna add more details to that right now. But anyway, I configured one interface of this Kali virtual machine with a static IP address and Metasploitable with a static IP address which is in the same private network because you want to keep it available only internally. You don't want to expose it to the cloud. So now we're going to run our mmap scan. I already know we're gonna see a bunch of open ports and running services, but nonetheless I gotta do it to have an idea of what we can exploit. Oh man, ridiculous. Okay, that's the first step in our analysis. I want to do something that's, you know, pretty much a standard step for you to delve more into vulnerabilities, which is to run a NESA scan on the system. First of all, I want to make sure I can ping this IP address. Looks like I can't. Alright, I'm gonna temporarily add another network adapter to Metasploitable, but this is something you shouldn't be doing, so I can access this virtual machine from Nessus, which is on my physical network, but that's something I'm gonna do early for the purpose of this vulnerability assessment, and then I'm gonna disconnect this optional network adapter. So to be safer, I'm gonna use a network adapter. Oh wait, okay. I forgot I had 3 network adapters already on this. I probably don't even need 3 network adapters, but anyway, I'm gonna change this like this. So let's see how the configuration changed. I could finally set up an IP address with NAT for this virtual machine on network adapter ETH0. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run Nessus on this machine. I have it installed as locally because it doesn't work otherwise. So here we are in Nessus. So I'm going to create a new scan. So by the way, this is a way to show you how a vulnerability assessment is conducted, because Nessus is pretty much a state-of-the-art tool for that. And I'm gonna call it Metasploitable 2 scan, just to be clear. And I'm going to give it the IP address of this machine. After that, I'm going to save this, and I'm going to launch the scan, which is going to take a while. I actually found out that this is the only way for me to have Nessus work. I tried to run it in virtual machines and it didn't run. Probably there's some issue with the new version, because with older versions I was able to run a scan from a virtual machine, but I cannot do it right now. So I'm doing it directly from my Mac. Alright, so Nessus has completed the scan, and you see there are several critical vulnerabilities here. One is this one. This is a common vulnerability list. So let's see what we can find in Metasploit in terms of available exploit for this vulnerability. Looks like nothing was found. One thing we can do to have a better understanding of the system is to run system versioning with SV. That gives us a better idea of what services are running on this machine. Alright, so we see here Samba. So what I'm gonna do here is search for specific vulnerabilities about that. See that we have a bunch of vulnerabilities available, rated according to their success rate practically, and we have something like excellent and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna choose one random and I'm gonna use this exploit here, and the syntax is use followed by the exploit. At this point, like I explained in other videos, we need to see what the options are for this. Now, the port is standard and we're gonna leave it at that because that's the correct port. We're going to change our host, the remote host IP address, to the address of our vulnerable virtual machine. I'm lazy, I don't like to type, so honestly. That being done, we can launch our exploit. Alright, at this point, as this throws me off sometimes, to interact with the shell, we simply do this way. And you see that I'm root. So it doesn't allow me to open a shell, an interactive shell, but we do have an open shell with Metasploitable. In fact, we can do the basic command. We can do something like now if we make another file listing and we do something like that, you see that I successfully created a file. And that was pretty easy, but like I said, Metasploitable is an example of how you shouldn't configure a Linux operating system in the first place. That's why it's provided to you free of charge, and it should be only used in a non-production system in a virtual machine, not exposed to the internet. In fact, I'm going to disconnect the net adapter after doing this because I don't want my system to be compromised from outside. And that was an easy hack. Of course, this is not real hacking. We say hack, but that's the way a vulnerable system is exploited. I hope you enjoyed this video. There are other deliberately vulnerable Linux tools you can use for the same purposes, so pretty much you can do the same as I did here with Metasploitable, but I think you got the picture. Alright, so I hope you can keep following me and you're enjoying this series of information security tips for new information security analysts and pentesters. Okay, have a good one, guys. Bye.